Let's do it, man. It's been like a week. You're not the only weak one. I'm also weak. Can I tell you why I'm also weak? I thought 2 in a row is going to take us a long time. Why don't we do the other ones first? But no, we're not going to do that. You know why? Because this one's next. We're gonna do this one next because it's the next one up, man. It's that simple. That was a great throw, if I may say so myself. So I'm just getting. It's been a week. I got to get myself back into the groove. Was thinking today we probably don't get this today if we're being honest. What we could do is start getting the muscle memory down a little bit. Start looking at my mouse pad and knowing where I should be trying to, the kinematics of where and how I should be moving my mouse. The speed, the tilt, the position, etc., etc. When will we get mouse cam? I don't know. I guess when they reboot like Stuart Little or whatever. I don't know. I don't know shit about that, man. Mouse cam? Mouse pay. I've been using mouse pay a lot. That's really starting to hit the zeitgeist of payment solutions. Remember that? Mouse pay? So true. Ooh, what if I could throw, man? Listen to 9 Inch Nails now and then. I wanna pet you like an animal. I wanna feel you on the outside. Whatever. He doesn't say that. He does in the Kids Bop version. Please you bring me closer to dog. That's got, we were talking about stanky beats. That has a stanky beat too. I know I guess it's like just probably the most well-known quote unquote industrial song of all time. But that fucking, like, did he record that shit inside of like a foundry or something? I feel like it's all like hammers clanking on the like iron bars and shit. I wouldn't say it's glorpy. Glorpy to me is more like Kid A, you know? Glorp music to me is like the first 30 seconds of everything in its right place. Fuck you. 9 Inch Nails is like the opposite. Like I could see them, honestly, I could see them being confused at first, but I could see Cavemen like really vibing with 9 Inch Nails somehow. It just makes sense to me. I think they would get it. They would be like, this shit sounds like a thunderstorm. No, I don't think, well, I don't know. Maybe they'd be fucking with Aphex Twin. Me explaining the grok that if you just wait 11 minutes for when you hear a baby coo, the song really starts to fucking pop off then. After 9.5 minutes of just fingernails scratching on like the outside of a vinyl record. Ooh, that was a pretty good one, man. Grok 3? I'm still on Grok 2. I'm going to be here all day. That's fine. I don't know if you guys have been watching Pop Culture Jeopardy. Can I tell you something funny today? They have these questions, I guess they're answers, called triple plays, where there's 3 answers, and for every one you get right, you get more points. The episode that I watched on the bike today, they were like, it's the real, well, not real life, but it's the civilian names of the 3 main characters in the film The Marvels. There's 9 motherfuckers on the podium in Celebrity Jeopardy, or Pop Culture Jeopardy. Nobody knew any of them. And then I laughed and I thought about it for a second and went, wait, I don't fucking know any of them, man. I know that it's Captain Marvel and I couldn't remember Captain Marvel's real name. When they told me it was Carol Danvers, I was like, yeah, I got it. Oh, that one might have been going in, man. Yeah, you got it. It's Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau, and Kamala Khan. You would have won that triple play. I also got pissed off because one dude was running the fucking category on video games. I forget what the first clue was. The second clue, the answer was Grand Theft Auto. The third one, it was Rocket League, and the fourth one was BioShock. And everyone was like, damn, this dude's like a fucking nerd. He knows 4 of the biggest selling video games of all time. And then the last one, the clue was like, you are the assistant of the king of the universe in this game where you roll up everything into a big ball. And nobody fucking knew it. And then the host was like, that's Katamari Damacy. And then everyone laughed like nobody's heard of that shit. And I'm like, that shit's fucking popular, bro. You're not, this is supposed to be pop culture Jeopardy, man. The dude who ran the fucking table in video games doesn't know Katamari Damacy? Pissing me off a little bit is what I'm trying to say. We do live in different worlds. Meanwhile, everyone's like, burp, burp, burp. That's Nene Leaks. And I'm like, who the fuck is Nene Leaks, man? From the reaction gifs? How do you like Colin Jost? I got nothing against him. I like that he seems to enjoy whiffing the jokes. He likes when the jokes whiff and then he laughs. I also like that he mentions at least 3 times per episode that he's married to Scarlett Johansson. Because I think it's like, you know, smoke him if you got him or something, right? Like, why not? He does do that. Anytime there's a reference to Marvel or a reference to Scarlett Johansson, which is, it comes up now and then because, you know, it's pop culture Jeopardy. Have you seen Pirate ESPN? I'll level with you. I haven't seen much, but I might watch that. Whatever. Did you watch the game last night? Dudes rock. Which game? You talking Lakers versus Mavericks? That was probably the biggest game last night, right? I don't need to see it to know Luka put up 30 and 11, right? How did he do? I didn't see. Triple-double? 19 and 15? Weak. I have a question about basketball. I'm trying to learn ball a little bit. Why are there not usually, why are there always so fewer assists per game than baskets? Like points. I guess because you get, now that I'm thinking about it, you get 2 points per basket. So that's probably like the first part. But like in the NHL, unassisted goals happen, but they're pretty rare. Like they probably average, if the average game has like 6 goals, usually like probably 0.5 of them are unassisted. So for me, I'm like, why are there so few assists in the NBA when they're scoring buckets like crazy? Free throws, okay, free throws and fast breaks. Wait till you learn about three-pointers. Do you not get an assist if you're the last person to pass it to the dude who shoots the three-pointer? You don't? Not always. Okay, so here's a question that I have then. In the NHL, it's kind of automatic. If two people on your team touch the puck before you score, they both get assists. Now, some of those assists, especially like the guy getting the secondary assist, didn't do shit. All he did was like give the puck to somebody else who then passed it to you and you scored. But that he still gets an assist. But in the NBA, is it more like it's a statistician's choice? Like if somebody passed it to you 6 seconds before you scored, that's no longer an assist. Like the assist has to directly contribute to the basket or something. Correct. I didn't know shit about basketball. I got another question. Why don't they call traveling anymore? I guess because like then the whole game would just be whistles. +2, he knows ball. The NBA would be in shambles. More fun. That's probably fair. James Harden in the chat, right? John Bryan on the keys right now. What happened to the Costco guys? I have it from reliable sources that they're now working at Doge. Which I think is good news because we need some people with that kind of energy at that department. Plus, I think they just lost like half their staff, ironically. So like they're probably looking for some young blood. Plus, Big Justice, he would probably be like the elder statesman of Doge, right? What is he, like 13 years old now? He'd be like the second oldest motherfucker at the whole organization, I think. Plus, he already has a great alias, which I think is how they identify themselves. I'm not even messing with you. I mean, this is obvious. I don't think you can really tell if someone deserves to keep their job based on a 5-point bullet list of like what they did in the last week, man. Can I say something? I hope this doesn't offend you. That seems like what a stupid person would think is like a great way to evaluate whether you should keep your job. Because like there's weeks where like I don't fucking do shit, man. This week I've been busy. I would love to send that email this week. I've been doing some meetings, a lot of accounting, you know, I've been doing a lot of stuff that sucks ass. So I would love to write an email and be like, give me good boy points for this. But there's like months where I don't do anything, man. And that's the way the system's designed, man. Like, bro is gonna end up firing Santa Claus or something because he hasn't worked since the end of December. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Santa's freelance anyway. I guess he owns his own business, so he can't get fired or whatever. Good for him. All the ladies who's independent, throw your hands up at me. All the honeys who's making money, throw your hands up at me. What did she say? Girl, I didn't know you could get down like that. Charlie, how your angels get down like that. Watch Bottle Rocket last night. Any thoughts? It's a lesser Wesser. It might be like the most lesser Wesser, but it's still good. And it's a curious watch because you can see like the origination point of a lot of stuff that would go on to become like his defining characteristics as a filmmaker. It's not a bad movie. Joke stolen from Letterbox? No, not at all. I don't know where I heard Lesser Wesser for the first time. Probably on Twitter. where I steal most of my stuff. Prior to mid-January 2025. I would say I'm a Schwartzman merchant. I think that's fair. Like, I like Rushmore more than the Royal Tenenbaums. Justin was trying to get on my ass, dude, for giving the Royal Tenenbaums a 4. I think it's a good movie. It's a great movie. I find that it sags a little bit under the weight of its ambition. For me, if we're going, grand Wes Anderson, I'm a Grand Budapest guy. And if we're going small Wes Anderson, I've always got a soft spot for Rushmore. But I really like the Royal Tenenbaums. Don't get me wrong. Life Aquatic is the best. I know that's wrong. No, sir. Nerp. You got hidden talent. Let's keep it hidden. It's a fine movie. But let me say the most positive. Well, okay, I don't dislike it. And I dislike the Darjeeling Limited. I saw the Darjeeling Limited in theaters and I was like, damn, Buddy is legit washed. I was wrong. He came back with like 7 bangers in a row, like right after that. But for a couple years, I was like, this guy's washed. How can you dislike it? I think my main reason is because I don't think it's like very good. Maybe that's just me though. Your taste is washed? No, I just had the misfortune of like being an adult when it came out, I guess. Or maybe I've like never taken a long train trip in rural India, so I don't really like it doesn't speak to me as much as it could if I'd like lived that experience, I guess, but Wes Anderson is the Michael Bay of artsy fartsy movies. No disrespect, but like thinking that Wes Anderson movies are artsy fartsy is like a Michael Bay take. His movies have a certain degree of pretentiousness to them that I think he owns and wears honestly, but they're also like they have broad appeal, man. Like it's not some shit you have to be in like the exact right mindset to vibe with, Like this, they're mostly just good movies. There are times, though. Everyone remarks upon the way that characters speak in Yorgos Lanthimos films. Very few people ever seem to get annoyed with the way that characters speak in Wes Anderson movies, which is like they all speak like when you're in 10th grade English class and you have to read dialogue that was written instead of like mimic it via conversation. Is very literary, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I mean that as a positive. I'm just surprised. I get annoyed by it. Only thing I get annoyed by sometimes is that fuck-ass harpsichord, man. Bro's been using the same harpsichord since like 1996. Can we, I guess... Whatever. He's chill. I got nothing against him. I like him. I'm defending him. I do dislike Jojo Rabbit, though. I'm sorry to say. We don't have to, make everybody mad at the same time here. What about Wilder People? I like it more. Am I cooked if my favorite Taika Waititi... Well, no, my favorite Taika Waititi movie is What We Do in the Shadows. My second favorite Taika Waititi movie is Thor Ragnarok. And I'm willing to go to fucking blows to defend that opinion. What we do in the shadows clears it. I genuinely think Thor Ragnarok mogs Jojo Rabbit. You hate Reddit-pilled movies? Make up your mind. Am I a Redditor or am I an anti-Redditor? The truth is I'm just a guy. Some of my opinions border on Reddit. Some of my opinions are anti-Reddit. It's how it goes, man. Free Guy is probably number 3. Most Redditors are anti-Redditors? Well, then by definition, you guys are also Redditors because you're the most anti-Redditor people that I know, man. Caught. Free Guy is my only 1 star on Letterboxd. Somebody check my Letterboxd quick. I don't know if I've ever given a movie a 1 star. I've seen 1-star movies, but I don't think I've ever reviewed a 1-star movie on Letterboxd. Because I only got Letterboxd like 2.5 years ago or something like that. And I don't have a lot of time to watch obviously shitty movies. When I had a lot more time, I would be like, yeah, I'll watch that garbage. I'll go to the theaters and watch G.I. Joe. Yeah, that's clearly like a fucking 1.5, maybe. Nothing below 2. It is kind of fucked up that Nomadland is like my lowest rated movie on Letterboxd then. Civil War, Underwater, The Creator. Oh no, maybe I gave Nomadland a 3, or a 2.5. Underwater, Civil War, and The Creator. I stand by all those reviews, or all those ratings at least. What's crazy is I'm like, is it Underwater, Civil War, The Creator? Underwater might be the best of all of them, which is fucking crazy, man. Creator does look nice. It is some cool stuff in it. Like, it's just like most of it sucks and it's way too long. What's a 1? When I think of like the worst movies I've ever seen, the Mark Wahlberg Max Payne is really close to the top of the list. And there's a lot of schlock in the same vein. Like Gamer with Gerard Butler is in there. And like Death Race with Jason Statham is in there. But those have like, I always got the vibe from those movies that they were aware that they kind of sucked ass. So they allowed the audience to have a little fun with it. Whereas Max Payne leans so much into the like self-serious film noir vibe that it's completely bereft of joy in every single aspect. No, I'm sorry. Death Race 2009 or 2010. I'm sorry, it's ass, man. Death Race, it's confusing. Death Race 2000 from like 1971 is pretty fun. Like, I don't know if I'd give it like a 3.5 or above, but like, that one's like a video game. The reboot with Jason Statham is like, came out in that era where like everything was gray. I had to jump off my bike for this. I don't know, man. Here's my heuristic on this. I don't need a heuristic because I've actually seen it, I guess. But I saw Death Race on purpose in theaters the year it came out. So I must have been 20 or 21. And I knew what I was getting into. And I was still like, this shit fucking blows. So for me, I was like right in the target demo, knew what I was getting into, and still was like, this shit is garbage. Same thing, and listen, maybe you were there, maybe you weren't. I went and saw The Expendables 1 opening weekend. Because at the time especially, I was a big fan of like somewhat self-aware 80s action movies. Commando, Rocky IV, etc., etc. So I was like, they got all the schlock artists for the same movie. Like it's got it. Of course, they're aware that they're kind of going to be making garbage, and it's going to be kind of like an action comedy. Not at all. Just a bunch of old guys shooting guns, saving the world. Pure ass. And then they made 3 sequels, which is crazy. No, it's not so bad it's good. It's just like, it's just boring. Now, Crank knows how to fuck. Expendables is just thrusting. They're just going through the damn motions. Crank or Crank 2? I'm a Crank 2 guy, honestly. I like them both, but... Well, Crank 1 had to do all the heavy lifting, so it's not really fair, because they had to, like, establish the rules of the world that don't make any sense at all. Like, hey, I've injected you with the poison that if your heart rate ever drops below, like, 120, you instantly die. Crank 2 just got to... like, when they were like, hey, I've given you an electrical heart, and if you don't get shocked every 15 minutes, your heart's going to stop. They didn't have to go through the explanation of it, because you're just like, I get it, it's Crank. Crank is not Keanu Reeves' Speed. This is how I know you're not a real fucking connoisseur. Speed is a fun movie, but it's played serious. Crank is a fun movie, but it's played absurdly. Speed, in my opinion, is probably a better movie than Crank, but is not self-aware. It's played straight. Crank is like, they knew what they were doing with Crank, and they leaned into the absurdity of it, which I appreciate. Crank community note is good. Is that the one that's like, is this the most unnecessary sex scene in movie history? And then the community note is, actually, this is the most necessary one, because if he didn't have sex at the horse racing track, he would have died. Hi, Tomo. You see The Happening? Yes, sir. Happening. I've probably seen The Happening like 5 or 6 times. You need to review The Happening twice. You don't need to see it twice to review it. Whoa! Okay, that's amazing though. You can review The Happening 2 times, having seen it once. The first review is, how is this as a movie? And it's a 1. It's baffling. The second review is, how fun is this movie to watch? And it's like it might actually be a 5. Hi, Tomo. Like for so bad it's good movies, I would put it up there in the absolute upper echelon. What's up, bud? Yes, that's the one where the plants go, as you called it. I'm not repeating that. Black Dynamite? Black Dynamite is not so bad, it's good. Black Dynamite is a parody of 70s blaxploitation films. You got your genres all fucked up. They're fun to watch for similar reasons, but they're not. One of them is intentional, the other one is by accident. You don't fucking get it, man. What about Undercover Brother? Saw it in theaters. I got a soft spot for Undercover Brother. You don't get it? In the 7th grade, which is when that movie came out for me, racism had been defeated. Like, we solved it. I didn't really do much because I was like a little kid, but so going to see a movie in relatively rural Ontario called Black Dynamite, that was like taking a victory lap. Can I also say, growing up in a household where we didn't eat mayonnaise because my dad hates mayonnaise, That movie is how I found out that there's a stereotype that white people love mayonnaise. Like that, at first, that joke was completely lost on me. I had no idea, man. We do? don't say we. I don't know if, I wouldn't say I love mayonnaise, but I'll tolerate it. I've never willfully put mayonnaise on anything, but if it's on something, I'm not going to scrape it off these days. It's true, we love potato salad. I don't like how liberally you're sprinkling the word "we" out there. I don't love potato salad. I don't love mayonnaise potato salad, at least. Now, are there times when I've worked in an office and it's been like a potluck lunch and 90% of the dishes are some variation of mayonnaise-based salad? Yeah. I would say roughly every single time. I remember we had potluck at my office at one of my summer jobs when I was in college. It was like potato salad, macaroni salad, pasta salad, corn salad, just like you know the fucking plastic like Rubbermaid bowls with the saran wrap on top. It was just like a rogues gallery of that. And then one of the people that worked there made gazpacho, which I had never had before. And I mean, it was only like maybe 15 or 20 people in the office, but nobody was fucking with the gazpacho. So I went over to the gazpacho and I was having like bowl after bowl. And the lady was like, wow, you really love the gazpacho, huh? Nobody else is fucking with it because it's weird for a soup to be room temperature or whatever. And I was like, yeah, this soup is awesome. And she just gave me the rest of the gazpacho to take home, man. That was like, as a university student, that was like a huge dub for me. And also, if I may say retroactively, a great demonstration of how soft skills can really help you out in the corporate culture. Now, unfortunately, she was like at my level organizationally, so she couldn't really put in a good word for me. But but if she had been like the boss or whatever, that, you know, it can't hurt. +2, I just watched The Apartment. Huge movie. Oh, hell, what's his name again? Oh, I can't remember his name. Oh, hell no, Dr. Dreyfus. You can't do that shit. Dr. Dreyfus, you're tweaking. I know it's Jack Lemmon, but what's his fucking, his character's name? CC Baxter. Oh, hell no, CC Baxter. You can't strain the spaghetti on the tennis racket. You crazy for this one, CC Baxter. Anyway. You ever see it? It's pretty good. Where did all the Jello salads go? Hey, I got a question. If you're Gen Z, so let's say born 1996 or later, did your grandparents' house have one of those fuck-ass Jello molds in the pantry? Because like every house that I went to from my birth in 1988 until like the year 2002, every single house had one of those fuck-ass Jello molds. 93 and mine did. Yes. I've had hella Jello salads. I'm Asian. I don't recall limiting the question to a single race. I don't know. Asian people might be fucking with Jello. I honestly have no idea. Are you fucking with Jello? Not really. Not really. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever heard Kate be like, I could really go for some Jello. Just doesn't come up. Don't. We're going to be here for a while. Does anyone like it? I liked it as a kid. And then like I've anchored my emotion to that. So like I sometimes, especially like on a cruise when they have Jello for dessert, I'm like, I really like Jello. And then I eat like one cube of it and I'm like, this isn't very good. But also, I have a take, and I'm not married to this take, but I believe in it with soft levels of conviction right now. Food just, in the last 15 years especially, food has started to taste a lot better, in my opinion. Like, part of it is that when I was like a kid, I didn't choose what I got to eat. Like, I just had to eat what my parents or my grandparents cooked. But I also think that like food is a lot better tasting now than it was in the 1990s. Like, I think part of the reason I was fucking with Jello when I was like 8 years old is because I'd like never had tiramisu. Like, I would have had to make a special trip to get tiramisu. Now you could just get tiramisu fucking anywhere. I don't even think macarons existed in North America until like 2014, and now they got them at like No Frills. Like, that shit is it moves fast these days, man. Now they are adding like more poison to the food, but that might also be one of the reasons that it tastes better. I don't know. Poison can be pretty tasty. Plastics in my balls, boy. Yes, sir. Plastics in my balls, boy. Wait, that's not bangarang. What is it? That's salsa in my balls, boys. Let me see here. I maintain that '08 got us thinking about only food as escapism for like 15 years. I mean this in a complimentary way. That sounds like a master's thesis. I respect academia genuinely, so don't take this as an insult. But like that could be a master's thesis in like anthropology or something. It's like the long-term ramifications of the 2008 global financial crisis on North American palates. Maybe after '08, people were like, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be able to retire, but at least like I can try like a $7.25 Vietnamese soup or something. There could be something like that. I don't know. I'm not the motherfucker to be like analyzing that shit. But it seems I wouldn't read it, but I would read like a synopsis in plain language of it. I would be interested to know about your findings and your thoughts on your findings. Like, I'm not going to read the thesis, but like neither are most of the people that are going to be, you know, asking you questions during your defense. So like, I don't think that shit is like a damnation of me. Did you know that they don't make the motherfuckers in the Academy watch all the movies that are nominated for the awards to vote? They can literally just vote based on like the movies that they saw. What the fuck is... No, I didn't see it on Twitter. I saw it on Reddit because the post was like, I think this is a little bit fucked up. And it was like 7 Academy members anonymously admitted that they haven't seen Dune 2 because they didn't like Dune 1. Well, I guess that's, now that I think about it, that's kind of fair. If you didn't like Dune 1, you're probably not going to be fucking with Dune 2. But they should fucking watch it because, like, isn't it their job? I guess their job is, like, making movies. Whatever. I don't care. I've decided I don't care. I decided it doesn't fucking matter. Whatever. Just put the conclave in the bag, little bro. I did see the other... Yes, thank you for bringing it up. The 2 people who said, I'm not voting for Ralph Fiennes for Best Actor, which he's not likely to win anyway because of Adrian Brody and Timmy C, and maybe even an outside chance to Sebastian Stan. They said, I'm not voting for Ralph Fiennes for Best Actor because he's already won for Schindler's List when he fucking didn't win for Schindler's List, man. He's so good in Conclave, though. Well, listen, I don't disagree. He probably did better than I would have done, to put it politely. But it's more, that's a movie that's like ensemble. It's an ensemble-driven film. I can understand the weighting being more in the direction of somebody that, like, it seems like their performance carried the movie. I can understand that. I'm reading what Jay said. If I can find it. I can't find it. Jay is gone. It wasn't even a message from Jay. It was a message from somebody else who has a similar looking name to Jay. The message was fine. You didn't do anything wrong. Isabel Rossellini crushed it. I don't think I'm a real critic. Because when I saw that Isabella Rossellini was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, I was like, she didn't do anything. She has like literally 5 lines in the whole movie. Now she has a scene stealing little, I don't know, like 3-line bit that's really good, but I think it was kind of a legacy a legacy award, to be honest, but that's okay. I got nothing against Isabella Rossellini, man. Like Kieran? Well, that's listen, I'm not an expert, but that's category fraud in the other direction, right? He's a co-lead, bro. Now, it's a great performance. Is it a supporting performance? Well, I don't know. He's got like 49% of the movie instead of 51% of the movie. I don't know if I would call it. That's a co-lead situation to me, but it's a tough one. That's true. He is supporting his family with the paycheck. I never really thought about that. Who's the other Culkin, man? So you got Macaulay, obviously. You got Kieran. Rory is the kid from Signs, right? What's Rory up to these days? He's the kid from Signs who, like, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know the scene that I'm referencing here? Where they're like, Rory, what the fuck are you doing up against the fucking grate, bro? Get out of here. And then you just see like the alien claw come and grab him. That shit was spooky, man. They don't say that in the movie. We need a Gen Z Signs, man. Are you guys ready? So I watched Nora. I watched My Old Ass. And you can't see it yet because it's never going to happen to you, but I know that it will happen to you because I thought it was never going to happen to me. You know how, like, when you watch the Avengers Age of Ultron, you're like, this is like the crystallization of millennialism. Like, when you watch it, you're like, this is the millennial, even though Joss Whedon is Gen X, like, this is the most millennial dialogue that's ever existed in any movie. You are not ready for how you're going to feel about some of the dialogue in these movies in about 10 years. Now, it's current, it's contemporary, it's relevant to the times. But when you watch some of this shit, when you watch Booksmart in 2032, you're going to be like, maybe Gen Alpha has a point with them roasting us all the time. I know it doesn't sound like that's ever going to happen because Gen Alpha is literally like shitting in their diapers right now, but it'll happen, man. And I like Booksmart. Even though I'm not fucking with Olivia Wilde. Also, Booksmart gets glazed because they used You Oughta Know. That was part of the Alanis Renaissance for sure. You didn't like Nora? No, I liked the Nora. I gave it a 4 and a heart. And honestly, having seen the two movies that are very likely to produce the Best Actress winner, I think that Mikey Madison, she would have my vote over Demi Moore. That one's a given for me. That's nothing against Demi. But she's, I was going to say she's too old. I'm sorry, she's too old. Mikey Madison isn't even from Brooklyn, but I believe that she was from Brooklyn. All Demi Moore had to do was be old, which she is. No talent. Telomere Merchant. I'm joking! I'm joking! Her accent kind of came in and out. Bro, she's code switching to try to seem more respectable to the Russian oligarchs, okay? You don't know, you didn't read the subtext, bro. You didn't read the fucking subtext, man. She wasn't? She fucking was, man. You know what bothered me, though, is like, why didn't she pick up the controller, man? Like, literally, her husband is, like, playing a game. And she's like, there's people here that are trying to kill me. And he's like, can you just wait till the end of the lobby? And she's like, no, like, I'm scared. I know, but, like, you're going to be scared in 5 minutes anyway. Just wait till the end of the lobby. Like... Chill. Like, you can't, it's a multiplayer game. What game was his ass playing? It was a Call of Duty for sure. He had Call of Duty movements on his hands. They might have even showed it. I think he might have blown something up with a rocket launcher at some point. I can't remember. He was playing Headliners. Yeah, he was making out with his boys in Headliners. It would have been fucking sick if he was playing Slay the Spire. But then it would have broken immersion, because she would have been like, just pause it. It's turn-based. Babe, you have Snecko Eye. You don't need to calculate your energy costs. Just take the Meteor Strike. Just put Meteor Strike in the bag. Anyway. Whatever. Yeah, I remember when Frank Underwood was playing Call of Duty. In hindsight, we should have known that was a bit of a red flag. By the end of season 3, I was like, I'm not sure this Frank Underwood is like a good guy. Starting to give me some sus vibes. Is that a PS Vita? I've been telling Meacham I should get one of those for my car. He did play Monument Valley on his iPad, too. That is true. Anyway. Good game? Sure, man. Is it a red flag to watch House of Cards in 2025? No, because, like, you didn't, like, do that shit. But you probably should not watch House of Cards in 2025 knowing that it, like, progresses really, really badly. Like, there's no... if you watched it in 2014, everyone was talking about it, and it had like it was part of the zeitgeist. But like, no, that's like starting Game of Thrones now. Actually, it's worse than starting Game of Thrones now. Because at least you can kind of like enjoy the ride with Game of Thrones for a long time. But like House of Cards was good for like 2 seasons. So you basically, there's like, I don't even know, like 8 hours of good television there total. I bounced off House of Cards episode 1, season 3. When fucking the dude who is an alcoholic but is sober starts drinking again, but he loads up the syringe with like fucking like a measured amount of alcohol to try to keep it under control, and then like shoots it into his mouth. I was like, that shit does not, I'm pretty sure that's not what a relapse looks like. I'm pretty sure the dude would be like 12 beers deep in 2 hours. Well, that's right. He hires a sex worker to do it for him first. Come on, man. They should reshoot it with Jack Black. Yeah. When he hits the kasha right before he pushes the journalist in front of the train. Dude, my daughter made an I Am Steve reference. She saw the Minecraft trailer on YouTube, and then she was telling me, she was like, it's so funny. A man shows up and says, I am Steve. And I was like, you know what? I've heard of this. I've heard of this part of the trailer. Disney brainwashed her? Buddy, I'm pretty sure this shit is universal. It's totally different. We might go see it. I don't know. Jason Momoa sold out. You know, last week when somebody asked which actor is like falling from grace, and I said Pedro Pascal, but people weren't ready for that take quite yet. Jason Momoa is probably a better answer. Like, dude was in season 1 Game of Thrones, and then like, I'm not trying to disrespect him really, but like, what's his next most important role? Don't say Duncan, Idaho. Okay, because listen, Dune is also, like, it's a sprawling science fiction epic, but Duncan, Idaho is in the first movie for like 7 seconds. All he does is dap up the Lisan al-Gaib and go like, fucking, I'll never die. In a way, he's right, I suppose, but... And then Aquaman, right? Aquaman's the other one, and then like everything else is like... kind of ass. Maybe, I don't know, Minecraft might be good. Bro, he fought the Sardquars. Is that what they're called? Fucking cinematography merchants. David Dalmatian merchants. They even show up in this. What would fucking win, man? The most accomplished and disciplined fighting force of the 3 millionth century, or one tiny nuclear bomb boy? Coughing army versus hydrogen bomb. Nukes stay on top. I know that's right. Yes, sir. Come on, man. It is crazy that nukes are so OP, they're still banned in the future. Yeah. And they're like, hey, Paul, if only we had your father's nukes, then we could really do some damage. Then bro shows up and he's like, oh yeah, he just left them like behind that rock over there. What? That's not good OPSEC, man. You left the nukes behind a fucking rock? What are you talking about, man? He's like, oh yeah, they're in that hill over there. Hidden in plain sight. Good movie, though. Anyway. TwitchCon Europe, I think I'll just stay home instead. I'm not going to go to TwitchCon Europe, but it's the most tempting of all of them because the country it's taking place in isn't threatening like the sovereignty of the country that I live in. I'm assuming. It's usually in the Netherlands, right? Netherlands, how do you feel about Canada right now if you're Dutch? It's an important question, okay? We love Canada. Sympathetic, pretty good. Can't complain. We're chilling. All right, sick, man. We take those. You helped us a lot in World War II. Yeah, but like, you know, that was like 100 years ago, so I can't take a whole lot of credit for that, but it's nice that there's some memory there, I guess. I appreciate that. I didn't do anything for it, but we take those. We, on the other hand, are not fucking with the Dutch. Because I am mad that you guys are so tall. How does that happen? How does one... No disrespect. I know you've had a lot of influence on the world through mercantilism and stuff like that. But like, how is it... Like, the Netherlands... I know this is like... I'm not trying to mog you. The Netherlands as a country is like so small geographically. How can they maintain their height advantage over their neighbors? Like, are Belgians also tall? Or is it just the Dutch? Yes, Belgians are also tall. Okay, how about like people from Luxembourg? Also tall. Oh, okay, never mind. This might be a fucked up question, but is it because most of the country is like below sea level? So like gravity is a little bit weaker? And I know it's got to be like a little bit weaker, like almost imperceptibly, but compounded over the course of like a human lifespan. That could add up to like a few centimeters on average, right? What do you mean by that? I mean that, like, if I was on top of a fucking mountain, the tip of my head would be experiencing more gravitational pull towards the core of the earth than somebody who was below sea level. That's wrong? Yeah, that's a good point. It's literally exactly the opposite, isn't it? That's a good point. I can't really, that's sort of indefensible. Because in my head, I was like, it must be stronger because you've got further to go. Yeah, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. That's a good point. But and that's true. Yeah. Wait. Hey, but below sea level, the oxygen is like a little bit richer, right? So like, no wonder you guys are so tall. It's getting too fucking hot in here. My thermostat's off. Why is this 75? That's crazy, man. Anyway, can you show what you're trying to land? Sure, man, sure. I'd be happy to. Okay. I use Fahrenheit on this thermostat because when we bought the house and moved in, the thermostat was in Fahrenheit. And I think if you had to change, I know it would only take like a second to change, probably, but it's like the principle of the thing, man. Because like, if you try to make your whole life perfect, you're gonna succeed like just in time to die or whatever. So I'm mostly just chilling. Plus now, like I know how the temperatures feel. So I would have to like, I know you're gonna say, don't you know from like living in Celsius, but like inside temperatures hit different than outside temperatures. Like 13 inside, 13 Celsius, you would be like, oh, it's fucking freezing in here. 13 outside, you're like, damn, maybe I should wear shorts. Like, I don't really understand it, but it's true, man. He's back on this. Are you talking about my weather take or my Trickshot Simulator? That's true. I guess the sun is part of that. That's a good point. You lived in Ontario, would you be a Doug Ford voter? No, but can I say, at the risk of glazing Doug Ford, I never in a million years thought that he would be leading like the Bi-Canadian Army. That's B-U-Y, not B-I. 2 years ago, I would have been like, that guy would probably be like, please, daddy, give us more tariffs. But instead, he listen, five British Columbian MLAs, which is basically like our state level government, like state senators, they voted against condemning the tariffs. They literally said, nah, we should be like pleased with the fucking tariffs, man. And that's 5 out of like 90 or something like that. Even our Conservative Party was like, we have to condemn this stuff. 5 of them went, nah, I think it's pretty fair. So Doug Ford is bizarrely doing more than the minimum, in my opinion, which is way more than I would have expected of him. That being said, no, I'm not fucking with Doug Ford. Yeah, I think the election is happening like literally right now in Ontario too. So, but it's tomorrow, okay? You fuck with Henry Ford? Not really. As I understand it, he was a pretty big player in like the automotive industry. So I can't really take that away from him. But no, I don't think I'm a Henry Ford guy. What is it about making automobiles that, well, you know what? God, Chad, you're cool. Never be the CEO of an automotive manufacturer. Never become the CEO of a car company, okay? You guys are cool, man. That shit fucks with you somehow. I don't know, maybe some of those dudes at like Honda are okay, or Toyota. It's like every time the Toyota stock drops like 20%, the CEO is like, I'm going to cut my salary to like 20 yen a year or something. I'm like, bro, young pup, it's literally macro. It's not your fault. Don't sweat it. Just keep pumping out Corollas. You're chill, man. Bad news about Japan at the early 20th century. Right. Fuck. Who's been the fucking chillest country in the last like 100 years, man? It's not my country because I'm pretty sure they established like the Geneva Protocols because of us. Sweden? Nah, no disrespect, but y'all like let the Axis use the land to like get troops to Russia for Operation Barbarossa, but then you said the Allies, we're not fucking with you infrastructurally. That was a long time ago. I'm not holding a grudge. I'm just saying somebody else is going to be there. Mongolia? Maybe that's true. You don't hear that much out of Mongolia, right? New Zealand? Maybe. I don't know. Bhutan? I don't know. They got like the dicks on the doors and stuff, right? A lot of question marks and then a few people saying, hell yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Genghis Khan did some messed up stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that was in the 21st century, man. I think that shit was like in the 1980s. It was like a long time ago. Anyway, that's all I got. What about Shakira? Is that what you... Oh, you're talking about Shaka Khan. Oh. What about Shakira, man? You ever landed a single one? Yep. What have we been at this for about an hour? I landed one in the clothespin maybe 25 minutes ago. It's gonna take a bit, man. Let's think about this critically, okay? So just take your baseline shot. That needs to be harder. That needs to be harder. It needs to be more right. Needs to be more right. Needs to be softer and to the right. Softer and to the left. Power is good. Placement's bad. Okay, well, I'm not going to narrate this. We're not Let's Playing. Let's be honest. Sometimes you just know as soon as you release it, it's not making it in. Happier and with your mouth open. Their Triangle of Sadness posting, I think. Or yeah, it could be a JOI reference, I guess. Yeah, you have to get both of the shots in a row. With a spoon. Gonna take a bit. Did you see the Reddit post? Hang on. Did you see the Reddit post? That the guy told his wife she stank and was like, she has no problem telling me when I didn't wipe well enough. You learn pretty quick. Like, nothing surprises me. I've used so many public bathrooms in the last 36 years. I'm sorry. I know I bring it up once a week. In 2025, which has only been like 7 weeks or something like that, I've seen a turd on the seat of a public bathroom 2 times. And I'm not going to fucking like, you know, the public urinal at a skate park, you know? I'm talking like these are like decent places. So nothing about human hygiene. I say this as a guy who used to eat overnight oats on the toilet, I admit, but nothing about human hygiene is surprising to me anymore. Fuck skaters, I guess. I'm just saying, like, you know, you got the skaters, they're probably doing like a good job, but then you also got like the weird old guy who's just hanging around the skate park but never skates. That guy might not be that guy might not be putting respect on the toilet when he goes to the bathroom. That's you? That's not me. I don't go to the skate park. They're going to know like I don't belong. You should. I'm not cool enough, man. I don't think I could hang at the skate park. Can you ollie? I could in 2001. I could ollie. I could do a nose stall on the front step of my house, and I could attempt an absolutely heinous pop shove it and have like maybe a 1 in 20 chance of landing it. 180 pop shove it, by the way, 180. And then I had bought my skateboard at Canadian Tire. and I ollied once, and the trucks just fell off. And I went, I guess that's the end of my skateboarding career. Like, I could have gotten like a screwdriver, I guess, and put them back on, but I just didn't really want it that much, I guess, at that. I did what a lot of kids did, I think, at that age, which is like, I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and was like, sure, skateboarding's hard. Like, it'll probably take me like a couple months to work my way up to a 900, but like, I'd settle for just doing like a heel flip on my first try or something like that. And then it turns out that shit takes like a lot of practice. And falling down like actually hurts pretty bad. How do you feel about Rodney Mullen? He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT of flatland tricks. He's the GOAT of extending your combo to like hundreds of millions of points in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Because when you lose speed on the half pipe, you just go straight into revert manual and then start pressing square, 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 triangle, square, 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 circle, circle, triangle, circle, 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 square. And then your guy starts to go, oh, oh, oh. So then you ollie, throw in a quick little flip trick, like a kick flip, and then go to the nose manual instead of the regular manual to reset the pity timer, and then you square, 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 triangle, square, 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 circle, 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 triangle, triangle, circle. Anyway. Burnquist is better. Not loop-the-loop merchant or whatever. Which president do you think would be the most game on Jackass? Ah, fuck, it's George W. Fuck! Fuck. Yeah, well, no, it's definitely George W. Bush. I don't think it's, I was thinking it might be Clinton for like some of the like the gross challenges, but no, I think it's still George W. Bush. I could picture George W. Bush like getting in like a yogurt eating contest or something and then throwing it all up on the floor. 100%. That's fucked. Obama? Obama showing up on Jackass is like when Spike Jonze shows up. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? You directed Adaptation. And then he's just like... he's like the guy who watches Bam get like shot in the nuts with a gun. That's my fucking goal, man. Is just be cool enough to be the guy invited to the Jackass set to be like, hey, I'm that guy that you know. I'm here to watch like Johnny Knoxville get hit in the face with a cinder block. That's a sick job. Mods. Mods, someone terminally online is asking me questions that I don't even understand the words that are in them. I don't know what that means, man. You didn't have to ban him. I just didn't. Okay, that was too far. Because I wanted to read the message. I just didn't know what the hell it was, man. However. Well, you did what you had to do, I guess. If you're the guy who just got banned, in the on-ban request, can you please explain the context of what you're asking me? I don't know what SEC burnerverse is. I guess is like... that would be question number one. That's a college sports Twitter account? Innocence is bliss. Plot twist. Mary Kate heads for Call Her Daddy episode entitled Yeah, I Did It. I don't know what the fuck that means, man. I don't know what it means. Who the hell is Mary Kate if not one of the Olsen sisters? I don't know who this is, man. She slept with her boyfriend's dad? Sorry, I screwed up my DPI. 1 second. Yeah, but who is she, man? She slept with her boyfriend? No, but who is, like, why would I care at all, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know who this person is. She's a student at Ole Miss? No, but like, what has she done apart from this, which is remarkable, which would make this relevant news? That's what I'm trying to say. Nothing? Well, I don't. I feel this kind of like fucked up stuff. It happens all the time to people that we don't know. I guess I just don't get it. Maybe it was a good ban, yeah. She's a civilian? I don't know. It's like, it's her business, I guess. I'm not saying I support it. I'm just saying, like, I guess I don't care. It sounds like 2 out of the 3 people who I didn't know existed are kind of like scumbags. But like, what do you want me to say? It's like you're running a poll, like, is water wet? I think I'll find myself in the plurality on that one. I just don't get it, man. It's so good to not be on Twitter. I would have known about that shit like a month and a half ago. I guess that might be like before it happened or whatever, but... Because now, like, every day, Reddit serves me something different, man. This morning, it was serving me a lot of natty or juiced posts. Spoilers. It's juiced every time. They're always juiced, man. Even when they're natty, they're juiced. Sometimes people are posting on there, they're like 19 years old. And they're like, do you think I'm natty or juiced? And I'm like, I think you're natty. Because where the fuck does someone born in 2006 get steroids? That shit doesn't seem possible to me. Like, I'm 36. I don't even know where I would get steroids. Balco. Isn't he in prison? Isn't that guy in prison? Another thing that comes up on a lot of cycling subreddits is that, and maybe this will surprise you and maybe it won't, the prevailing wisdom is that in cycling races, if you're racing in the 30 and under category, almost everybody you're racing against is clean. And if you're racing in, dare I suggest that this offends me, but if you're racing in Masters, which is like the senior PGA, but it starts at 35. But if you're amateur racing in the 35 plus divisions, like 50% of men are juicing because they're all on TRT, which is crazy, man. There's so many posts that are like what the most popular one was, like somebody had a van where they put like the US ADA, like the Anti-Drug Administration Testing Bureau, they put a sticker on the side of their van and parked it like at the start of the bike race. And then 200 people showed up for the race or had signed up for the race, but only like 42 people ended up actually racing. Like 75% of the people who signed up thought they were going to get drug tested, so they just went back home. Which is like insane to me if you're like just like a realtor or something. I kind of don't understand. Oh, I thought that was gonna make it, man. I guess they're not on TRT to like win the bike race. That's just like an unintended benefit that's not fair to everybody else. They're on it to have abs like at age 51, which, like, if that was supposed to happen, I think it would have been in God's will or whatever. But please check your DM from Dan. Okay, let me take a peek here. I was not relevant. It was not unwelcome, but not relevant. No, there's no call to action or anything. It's a nice message. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't selling you steroids. No. No, he was not selling me steroids. Or giving me steroids. The Masters guys, don't blame them. They're self-conscious about not being young anymore. I blame them, man. You gotta fucking get out of the new one if you can't lend a hand, brother. The times, they are a-changing. What the fuck you mean you're jealous of the 25-year-olds? You fucking were 25, bitch. You already had your time in the sun. Now fucking pedal slower, motherfucker. You already did that shit. You had your turn. That's sad. It's the fucking circle of life, bro. I'd be more pissed if I was 25 and like I couldn't enjoy my youth as much as I should be able to enjoy my youth because some 52-year-old fucking project manager is on steroids beating my fucking ass red on the Alpe du Zwift. That shit would piss me off. What's the purpose of the second chair? What do you mean by that? Chow, what do you mean by that? Because well, I mean, you might need a new angle. The second chair is there to balance the other part of the... What is this railway toy called? Moby? What are these called? You know the one I'm talking about. There's a name, Brio. Thank you. Yes. The second chair is there to balance the Brio track. You have to land it in the clip. Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. They would call it Marvel Rivals. You ever get the bottle caps? Yes, sir. Easy. Sub 18. Sub 18 hours, that is. I don't hate Rivals. You got me all wrong. I have a light green positive emotion towards Marvel Rivals, but I have a dark green positive emotion towards the reaction that happens in chat when I make fun of Marvel Rivals. So dark green, in this case, beats light green. Oh, shit, dude. Did you see that? Matt Rempe has more goals than Pedersen this year. What are your thoughts? I mean, he's washed, man. What do you want me to say? Petey sucks ass? You're telling me this for the first time. I'm hearing this for the first time. I've been watching the games, man. I know he fucking sucks ass. What do you want me to say? He's not returning my calls. We lost Miller. He's a fucking bullshit merchant anyway. Face-off artist. Nobody cares. Old ass. Probably blocked from the Team USA group chat. Nobody likes him. I would rather have PD scoring 0 goals than have to hear the shit that Miller says with the jersey of the team that I support. And I was not the motherfucker who made fun of him at the pumpkin patch. Don't get that twisted. Is Rantanen washed? I don't know. I haven't been watching a lot of hockey because my team is not good. And I watched like almost every game of the season from like 2016 to 2020 when our team was complete fucking dog ass. But now I got other shit to do. So like if we were not ass, and plus like now's a great time to not watch because Petey is ass, Besser is ass, Quinn Hughes is like one of the most important players in the league, but he's injured. So it's like, if you got a limited amount of time to watch the games, these are the games you skip, and then maybe you'll get a chance to watch some good ones eventually. Face of an angle from heaven above. Yes, sir. Heaven above, the sea below, and the little wide whale on the go. Demko always injured. Yeah, sorry to say, Lee's Donuts merchant. That's a reference to the time I saw him in line at Lee's Donuts once, maybe like 4 years ago. Relatable. You guys weren't there? You didn't see that? Did he lick the donuts? I honestly don't know because he was behind me in line. And if you know the lineup at Lee's Donuts on fucking Granville Island, I don't care if he did get second in Vesna voting last year. I'm not giving up my spot in line. That shit can be, on a good day, it might be like 15 minutes to get some donuts. On a bad day, it might be like 45 minutes. Sorry, bud. You put your pants on one leg at a time, just like the rest of us. Why are you looking behind you in line? Can I tell you something surprising? Maybe not surprising. When I'm outside, I try not to like look at my phone when I get bored. I try to take in like the majesty of the world around me. Now, if I'm, it depends on the circumstance. If I'm in a lobby or like a waiting room for something, I'll look at my phone. I don't really care to like read the bullshit magazines or whatever. But if I'm like outdoors, I try to just take in the observation of the circumstances that I'm in, to be honest. Like on a bus, on a route that I've gone a lot, I'll look at my phone. Bus on a route that I don't take very often, I'll look out the window. If I got the window seat at least. Outdoor supermarket, no shot I'm looking at my phone at the farmer's market. That's not going to happen. Like one of the things that, and I'm not super anti-phone, although I am a little bit anti-app, especially as I get older. But I think the phone is like, it's very Moorish. If you haven't looked at your phone in a while, you're like, I don't really want to look at my phone. But if you look at your phone for 5 minutes and then you put it away, your brain is like, I could really go for some more phone right now. So I think limiting the impetus to just like pull it out the second you get bored can only have positive ramifications on your life, however minor. But I'm just one guy. My friend has a plan for an artisan PB&J stand at the farmer's market. I don't know where you live, but I think your friend might be like 10 years too late. Or maybe like a few years too early. Me personally, at least the place that I live in, the climate's not right now. We're having we're pulling back a little bit. I feel at least that we're pulling back a little bit from like the foods that you loved as a kid. We hipsterified them, made them like gourmet, and there's like an $18 PB&J at the food truck or whatever. I think we're getting back down to fundamentals and brass tacks, and inevitably, you know, maybe in the 2030s, the wave comes back around. Though I don't know. When's kale going to be back in fashion? Is kale out of fashion? I guess I've been seeing it a lot less. I guess it kind of got mogged by broccolini, huh? I'm a big kale head. I love kale, man. But now that you mention it, I have seen it a lot less on menus these days. It's trash. It's like the most meritorious of all the leafy greens, in my opinion. Just me personally. Oh, there's a study came out that showed that there's lots of heavy metals in it. Is that why it tastes metallic? They should do spinach next though, because spinach tastes way more metallic than kale. That's the iron? Nah, it fucks with my teeth for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it could be all the maltodextrin I've been drinking. Lock in. Sure, why not? Yes, sir. Just take a deep breath here for a second. All right, we go again. That's about enough of that. Good breath, nice form. Thank you. I appreciate that. I got good posture. I got my back is like up against the back of the chair. I'm not leaning forward. I don't have like gamer hunch right now. Oh, you know what though? I do have my feet crossed underneath me. I should put my feet flat on the floor. Oh, now it feels like I'm working too hard. This doesn't feel right anymore. Oh, I thought that. Can I take a look for a second? I'm going to take a look at trying to get it in the Theragun this time. Aim for the Theragun instead of the clothesline. Just to mix it up. Not under the illusion that it's going to help us get through this faster. Just because it's a privilege to be able to take some time to throw at the Theragun instead of throwing at the clothespin. It does look like a tiny orange butt. You're not wrong. So many variables, man. The rotation of the card, the direction, the angle that it's leaning, the amount of flick you got on it. There's a lot going on here. Is this an infinite deck of cards? Yes, sir. It's a Shiv deck with Dead Branch. I know that's right. That was a good one. That was a pretty good one, too. You're doing hundreds of hours to farm one clip? No, I'm not. Did you see the clip of me getting the chips in the caps? I was excited to get the chips in the caps, but I was more excited that Chibley came back so I could tell him about my sick content idea of finding a chatter who's anxious to fly, and then the whole stream is just you tracking their flight on flight radar. You got it backwards. You still think there's dessert at the end of dinner. There's no dessert at the end of dinner. There's just, you're just chewing till the plate's empty. I'm anxious with everything except flying. Dude, honestly, that's kind of how I am. That wasn't too bad in the whole scheme of things. That's kind of how I am these days, man. Like, I don't want to get into whether flying is more dangerous or less dangerous relative to like 2 years ago. Because there's been more accidents. That's a given. But also there's like media contagion, right? So it's like as soon as there's one accident, people are like, wow, that accident got a lot of clicks. Oh, there was some duct tape missing on an engine on a flight that had to land in Arizona. So like that shit probably was happening like routinely, but it never made the news before, but now it's hot. But obviously you can't ignore also the crashes and the incidents. However, the other thing is I can't make myself scared to fly anymore. I was already irrationally afraid of it when the conventional wisdom was that it was insanely safe, and I got through the looking glass. Even if it's gotten like more dangerous, I can't get scared about it again because I've already normalized it as a method of transportation. Like driving, nobody ever goes like, there's been a lot of car accidents in the news lately, I'm not going to drive so much. They go, idiot, why didn't you just not crash? You know? I guess it's a little different because you're not the motherfucker flying the plane, but like, thank God for that. Because I have control over it. I mean, how much control you have over it? Not, it scares me that you think you have that much control over it, I guess. I would like to think that, like, how much control do you think you have when your light turns green and you drive straight ahead and some motherfucker on their phone T-bones you going 70 kilometers an hour? Okay, anyway, what I was going to say regardless is, if anything, I'm at the point where, like, if our plane started to crash, I think I would be like, thank God I'm not the pilot, man. This guy's probably stressed the fuck out. Me, on the other hand, I can't even do anything. Like, what am I going to do? Knock on the cockpit door and be like, you guys need anything? Like, that dude's having, like, the worst day someone could possibly have at work. I just got to sit in my seat and, like, make my peace with the Lord or whatever. What do you mean, guy? Women pilots don't crash. Misogynist. Saved. I've never been on a plane with a woman pilot that even had any turbulence, quite frankly. I think they're just better at it, man. Because, you know, male pilot stereotype, they're cowboys, man. A guy whose only knowledge of pilots comes from Glenn Powell and Twisters, even though he's not a pilot. I don't know why that was my touchstone there, but satisfying sound. Yeah, you're not wrong. That was not bad either, man. I do think, like, it sucks that you can't be alive after you die. And I know that's going to sound stupid, but here's why I said it. Because, like, I think a 45-minute stand-up set from a dead guy would go so fucking hard. Like, can you imagine the bits if you died in a plane crash? So, like, the last 5 hours of your life were, like, waking up early, rushing into the Uber, getting to the airport, getting anally probed and having your whole body composition scanned by the TSA, who are like, take your shoes off. Who told you to take your shoes off? Sir, you can keep your belt on. Keep one shoe. Put your laptop in the bin by itself. Keep your laptop in the bag. Can you eat part of your laptop for me to make sure it's not plastic explosives? And then after all that, you just fucking die. Like you went through all like that doesn't seem fair, man. You went through all that fucking shit and inconvenience just for the privilege of like exploding into a mountain or something like that. That's fucked up, man. That's a miserable day. You're like, damn, I really woke up 4 hours before I normally do just to fucking die in a plane crash. I would be pissed. Yeah, and you paid for it. Probably like more than you wanted to. Anyway. You see those people on Qatar Airways that had to fly next to a fucking corpse for like 8 hours? And then they were like, can I move my seat? And the flight attendant said no. That's fucking funny, man. No, not the VTuber corpse husband. I think this was like a literal dead man who was a corpse. I didn't read the article because like it's 2025, but like were they transporting a dead body or like did he die on the plane? It was a woman? Not likely. Statistically, most of the people who die are men. Died mid-flight? Man, it's crazy to like die mid... I mean, what are they going to do? But it's crazy to die mid-flight and they just continue on to the target destination. Like, literally, they're not going to... There's nothing they could do. It's not like they're going to land and then like have a funeral right there. But like, it is kind of like, wow, fuck me. I guess nobody fucking cares that I died. You guys aren't fucking with me, huh? Like I died in seat 2A and motherfuckers at the back are like, can I get the whole can of ginger ale, please? But what are you going to do? It's a living or something is what they could say to tie it all together at the end. I bet I probably I've taken enough cruises, I bet. And also given the, not to be macabre, but the demographic of cruises skews pretty old. And also people are drinking like way too much, and eating like 4 desserts every night. But anyway, statistically, I bet someone has died on a cruise that I've been on. I would say there's probably a decent chance at least. No, honestly, I think if it happens, they just put them in the freezer and then like drop them off at the next port to like a business that handles dead bodies. No, I don't think anyone fell overboard. I'm not sailing Carnival. No disrespect. I'm pretty sure they have to report that. You order 3 entrees at dinner on your cruise? No, I order like 1 entree. Sometimes I'll order 2 appetizers, but it's never 2 things off the appetizer section. It's always an appetizer and then like a salad or a soup, which as far as I'm concerned is like, that seems apropos to me. But no, 2 entrees or 2 desserts, no shot. Not going to happen. But like a small appetizer and then like a wedge salad, yeah, absolutely. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, someone said, why do we talk about this all the time? It's not fair to you. But in the most neurotypical, like well-adjusted way possible, I genuinely think about the fact that I am going to die at least once per day, man. And I don't think about it like in a depressing way. I don't know. It like comes up. Like I was getting stressed out yesterday about some bullshit that doesn't even matter. I was stressed out and I was like, it literally doesn't matter. One day you're going to die. You're really going to die and be like, oh, I wish I stressed out over this more. No, fucking get over it, bud. And it's not really fair to say this, but I also think about it when I get stressed out over like, oh, I haven't made enough YouTube videos lately. I'm like, okay, one day you're going to fucking cease to exist, bitch. You're really going to be like, oh, I wish I made like 4 more Slay the Spire episodes, February 2025. No, you got to take a long view for this type of shit, man. Your episodes might have saved me. That's literally not my fucking fault. That's probably like your fault or your parents' fault. I don't have shit to do with that, okay? I didn't ask for your crutch. Don't ask for mine or whatever. I didn't have shit to do with that. Not to mention, I was probably an adult by the time you were born. So, like, you putting that shit on me is crazy. That's shameless. 4th time around, ass. Yeah. Focus up, land a card. Okay. How my nuts taste. Ah! I'm back. I'm recentered. Can I say something? Not to like relitigate the whole 3 Little Pigs shit, but like, isn't it faster to build your house out of bricks than to build it out of straw? I feel like building your house out of bricks is like, that's what they're for. They're like rectangles. You just stack them up. Boom, you got a wall. Repeat it like 4 times. Now you got like a fort, and now you just need to put a roof on it. Then like the straw, like I don't even know what you do. You like pile it up or whatever. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm starting to think Hans Christian Andersen didn't know shit about residential construction. Where did this come from? My daughter's really into fairy tales right now. Oh! We were in there, man. I mean, I'm not trying to victim blame. Like, the wolf probably shouldn't have been doing that shit. But, like, at the same time, why didn't they all just make their house out of bricks? Are they stupid? Similarly, what the fuck are the 3 bears doing leaving full bowls of porridge on the fucking table when they go out shopping? Like, the chairs and the bed, I get. But, like, their whole fucking breakfast, they just left it on the table? They had ADHD. That's so real, man. They were like, I want breakfast. Took 1 spoonful. Gotta go. Left the house and then got fucking pissed when someone else ate it. That's so... You have left no crumbs. That's the realest shit anyone's ever said, man. They weren't fucking eating it, man. But then someone else ate it and they're like, fuck this Goldilocks, bitch. Doesn't make any damn sense. It also, to me, it doesn't make fucking sense that all 3 bowls of porridge are different temperatures, but whatever. Maybe they like ordered it medium rare or whatever. They literally just left it. And the shit is porridge, man. It's going to be like caked on. Can I ask you a semantic question as someone who was not born in like Dickensian England? What's the difference between oatmeal and porridge? Because I'm assuming colloquially, the porridge that we're talking about is made with oats, right? It's literally exactly the same. Okay. All right, fair enough. That's all I got, man. Gonna be a brick later. Pigs can use it. We need like a Aesop Rivals, man. I could totally be like a fucking, I don't know. The bit, I lost it. I was going to say Rumpelstiltskin, but I think he might be a little problematic. Who's the one with like the spinning wheel or whatever? I know one thing for sure. Princess and the Pea would be a fucking tank, man. What was I talking about? You guys ever play Storybook Brawl? Sam Bankman-Fried in the chat. Does anyone know what the fuck I'm talking about? Do I know what the fuck I'm talking about? Yeah, I saw that that Ludwig's going undercover bald mode. You know what's funny is that nobody believes that there's an anti-bald bias except for bald people. But then like one dude with hair shaves his head and he's like, you guys are not going to believe this. There's an anti-bald bias. And people are like, whoa, I believe you. It's kind of fucked up. Honestly, it's kind of fucked up. They not like us, man. Yes. Yes, sir. We'll get there. No, we're not beefing. I told him in the back channel, I said, wait, maybe I didn't say this. Maybe I thought I was going to say this and then didn't say it. I said, I think it's funny how so many streamers have a sub goal that is like just to live like me for like 3 weeks. Like I would just wake up like this every day and other streamers are like, if you give me $10,000, I'll do a day in the life bald video. Makes you think, man. Makes you think. Do the reverse? No, I don't want to grow my hair. I'm just living my life. What hair? Excuse me? You need glasses, buddy? Sheesh! You ever thought about becoming a wig guy? You ever thought about going 2 seconds without asking me a question about what it's like to be bald? It's just like I don't take offense to it. It's just kind of like it's, you know, it's the thing is like it's not that interesting. There's only like 4 questions, and then it's like that's it. But I'm still here talking about it. You know, like 17 years later or whatever. You can get them all out right now. Sure. Is it cold in the winter? Yes. It's a little bit colder. Do people ask to kiss your head? No, it's never happened. Is it warm in the summer? You need to wear sunscreen on your head or a hat to protect you from UV radiation, for sure. Do you slap it like a drum sometimes? Yes, I do. I do that. That one, I don't know if I've ever been asked that one before, but yeah, sometimes I'll drum on my head a little bit. How often do you shave it? 2 times a week usually. It's not like on a regular schedule. Is there any? I think we pretty much covered it. Shampoo or soap? I'm a soap guy, but I understand like maybe shampoo does something for your scalp as well, but I've never really noticed a problem, I guess. Can you get dandruff? Yeah. If you keep it very closely shaved, you tend to not get dandruff. But if you go like a week without shaving it, after you shave it, you do have a tendency to have dead skin on your scalp that you gotta kind of exfoliate off. Or I do at least. That's about it. I mean, there's nothing else really that you could. I'm willing to say that I feel like the shining your bald head is a myth. I don't know if I've ever heard of a bald man actually shining his head. I think it's some Three Stooges stuff. It's literally shiny? Yeah, because there's a fucking light pointed at it. I don't know what you want me to say. I know an old guy who did it. Yeah, well, the dude who invented Vaseline literally fucking ate Vaseline every day. That doesn't mean like that's what it's there for. It's not like when you buy Vaseline at the grocery store, they're like, what are you cooking tonight? They know what you're cooking. Frozen pizza. That's like, I'm sorry to play all the hits from Twitter, but I'm nostalgic for it because I don't use it anymore. The tweet that's like, every time I buy a frozen pizza, I'm like, yeah, when I don't want to cook one night, maybe I'll have this frozen pizza in the freezer. And then when I get home, it's like, well, look who doesn't want to cook tonight. That's art, man. That's speaking truth to a universal human experience. If you want to have one in the freezer, you got to buy two when you go to the grocery store. Because as soon as you cook one, or as soon as you get home, you're making one. One in the oven, two in the freezer. That guy who flash mobbed all those news broadcasts if he was hungry. One in the oven, two in the freezer. Remember that guy? This joke doesn't really work. Remember that guy? Yo, I forgot about that guy. He would fucking lazy ass joke about him becoming a member of the Trump administration incoming. Whatever. I get it. Polite laughter. Polite laughter indicating, yes, things are kind of crazy right now. There's a horse in the damn hospital or whatever. And the horse is fucking pissed, man. People care more about me being bald than I care about being bald. It is true, man. You know what it is? It's like when you're the only motherfucker in your office who's lost weight. And then people who eat like a whole chocolate cake for lunch every day come over to you and start talking about like how bad for you exercise is and stuff like that. It's like, don't worry, but you're not the one pumping the watts. You got nothing to worry about. Just chill. Stop straw manning. That's a real person who probably works in human resources. That's my office. I haven't worked in an office in a while, but you wouldn't get it. My coworker lost 100 pounds. All my other coworkers were fucking pissed. Can I say I've been on both sides of this, and I would be pissed too. I get both sides of that. Because it fucking sucks when like somebody in your circle has a glow up. Because it lessens yourself relative to them. Like they should do it, don't get me wrong, but now you're like, fuck, now just to like keep up, I gotta work hard. I get why you'd be pissed. I totally understand, man. It's real, but you shouldn't say it. I think it's a personality flaw, but I also totally understand where they're coming from, man. Why you hot pocket watching? That's pretty good. It's like when you start college and you like have your first circle of friends and you're like, yeah, we're probably like all roughly the same level of attractiveness to the opposite sex. And then like one of your friends gets a girlfriend in like 48 hours and you're like, what the fuck? Did I really misjudge this fucking situation? I thought we were all on the same level here. Stop, it's too real. It's because it fucking really happened, dude. Yeah, you're like, what? I thought we were all like sevens. You know, that's life, man. When an ugly bitch tags you in a photo and says twins, what you talking about? No, the fuck we ain't. That's what I'm trying to say, man. That's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to add on to that like Library of Alexander shit. You know what's crazy? It's like at least with the chip in the cap, they gave you a dopamine hit like more often. Because you would get one very often. Like at least once every 5 minutes, you hit a one. We're on like a once every 20 minutes. Maybe. And then the other shot is like also really hard. Yeah. Don't worry, it's just Backshot Simulator. We're getting a little bit better at the Theragun at least. We're like in the ballpark. I'm going to the cinema later. That's huge. What are you seeing? What's in theaters right now? Let me think. I guess Companion's probably still in theaters. Dog Man. The Monkey. Yes, the Monkey. Captain America Brave New World. Forgot about that one. Can I say something? I'm not really like a box office watcher. Like, I don't really care how much money the movies make. But Disney, this one's for free. In my opinion, you should be preparing for Thunderbolts to be an absolutely massive flop. I don't think anybody at all gives a shit. Not anybody. I'm sure there's like a couple million people, but relative to like your average Marvel movie, I don't think anyone gives a fuck, man. David Harbour, though, I hate to say it, David Harbour for me is in like the Jason Momoa zone right now. Like maybe it's not fair, but every time I see David Harbour like is in something, it makes me want to watch it less. Sebastian Stan, though. Yeah, I still got to see A Real Man. It's $1.99 on Amazon Prime Video Canada right now. A Different Man, that's right. The Real Man is... I got it confused with A Real Pain. You love A Real Pain that much? I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. I don't know if Jesse Eisenberg has one defender. It's me, man. But I think he has like lots of defenders. And I am one of them. to be considered how annoying Kieran Culkin was. I mean, like, Ricky, you're saying the quiet part out loud. Is like, was I touched by the tragedy of Kieran Culkin's character? Yeah, for sure. Would I have crashed the fuck out if he let me sleep through the train station we were supposed to get off on in a foreign country on our short vacation? I would have freaked the fuck out. I would have lost my mind. And all Jesse Eisenberg does is like the dude, Kieran Culkin takes the longest piss of all time, and he's like, sometimes my cousin's annoying. Like, he's a better man than I am. I would have been losing my mind. Also, I don't want to go smoke pot on the roof of my Polish hotel because I don't know how the fucking emergency exits work, man. Like, in North America, all the doors that say, fire door, do not open, alarm will sound, are literally lying. None of them will sound the alarm when you push the door. It just doesn't happen. But that might be different in Poland. Maybe we go up to the roof in Poland, we push the door, and the whole hotel has to evacuate. I don't know how that shit works there. I don't know the cultural norms. Sometimes it's a silent alarm. Who the fuck installed a silent fire alarm? That shit is like something the Joker would come up with. That doesn't make any damn sense. Block party. That's true. I know what you're talking about. Why are we still fucking with car alarms too? Sorry, I'm putting the whole system on trial today. What's the ratio of like car alarms that go off and stop somebody from breaking into the car versus car alarm that goes off and like the dude whose car it is asleep 8 doors down. So it takes him like 90 minutes to notice that the shit's going off. Watching this at work and having to step away, then come back is like whiplash. Dude, I can't even imagine. But there's something fucking, there's like a resonance there, right? You might have a job that actually is important. But if you don't, and I don't mean that as a pejorative, because look at what I'm doing. Watching me do this meaningless shit and then having to step away, there's like, we need all hands for this meeting. And then it turns out somebody just wanted to talk about something that actually isn't all that relevant for like the other 20 people at the meeting, which is also meaningless. And then coming back to this meaningless stuff, that's crazy, man. I don't know if I could handle that. Slack is down anyway. Dude, can I tell you? So I had a meeting with my accountant yesterday I was a little nervous about. It was a Zoom meeting. So already I was like, this shit can't be that important. Because if it was really important, he would be like, please drive into the office. But instead, he was like, we'll have a Zoom meeting. I was still a little nervous. Then I got everything set up, and I joined the meeting. And it was an audio-only meeting, like no cams. And immediately, my stress level went down like 90%. So I was like, this dude didn't have me drive into the office. He didn't turn on the webcam. This is just going to be a formality. And thankfully it was. That's a phone call? Oh, I didn't realize your phone has screen share. No, I don't think, well, I don't know. He might have been getting Hawk 2 on the call. It's none of my business, honestly. He did his job regardless. Good for, yeah, good for him, man. What else could it have been? I don't know. We don't have any other cute names for sexual acts, right? Like Hawk Tua really changed the game. We're still talking. Well, I'm still talking about it like 8 months later. Make whoopee. Okay, Bob Eubanks. Throws are getting good. The boingy woingy, the hanky panky. Bumping uglies. Hang on, a question about pants. You ever shat your pants? Would you throw them out or wash them and reuse them at a later date? It depends on the circumstances. If I was like away from home, like in another city, they pretty much gotta go. Because I'm not packing a pair of shitty pants in like a garment bag and carrying it in my suitcase. Like that's a throw it out and like DoorDash some pants type situation. At home, assuming it was just a little poop. I mean, I don't want to be graphic, but I would like get paper towels, scrape out what I could, apply like some spot treatments, and then put it in the wash. And I would then reevaluate after it came out of the wash. If it came out of the wash and it looked good, then I would put it in the dryer. If it came out of the wash and it looked bad, I would throw it in the garbage can because I don't want to like bake this shit into my dryer. That's my thoughts on this subject. But yeah, you could DoorDash pants. Well, I'm sure you could. You might have to search for a little while to like find the outlet. Like you can Instacart from like a Loblaws, right? So there's no, like they got clothes in the store. I'm not saying it's going to be the best clothes you're ever going to find. But like I'm sure you could be like size medium sweatpants. Oh, no, that wasn't going to stick. Yeah, a little taxi for my pants. Ooh, sorry, I shit my pants. Could I get a servant on the app to bring me some non-shitty pants? Don't you hate when you shit your pants and you DoorDash new pants, but then the driver knocks on the door? It's like, buddy, read the additional comments field. I wrote, just leave it on the step, thank you. What is this bit? It's a bit of a send up of modern DoorDash discourse, I suppose. We'll just keep it up. Catch Coronation Street yesterday? Nah, watched an episode of Schitt's Creek during dinner, though. Moira she's talking crazy, man. She's talking crazy. And the sweaters that David's wearing, my fashion icon. Pretty good show. It's fun. Like, I have nothing against it. We're just chilling. We're not going to, if you think we're going to make it in the next hour, we're not. So just change your behavior or adjust your behavior based on that knowledge. You watching Severance? No, are you watching Pop Culture Jeopardy? No? Well, I guess we don't have shit to talk about then. Yes to both? Oh, damn. We got a real fucking consumer here. A real connoisseur. I don't know. I keep shaking my hands. Like, I keep taking my hands off the mouse and going like this. Like, as if that's gonna fucking... Like, divine providence is gonna enter my hands. God himself is gonna put his hand over top of mine. Or herself. You know what's crazy? Is that LeBron has been in the league for like 19 years at this point. But he's still like, I mean, I guess Bronny is LeBron James Jr., right? But those are the only two LeBrons. Like, shouldn't we be encountering like a wave of LeBrons crashing into North America right now? I never thought about it before, but you would think everyone's talking about like, oh, there's a kid in my daughter's second grade class named Khaleesi or whatever. But you never hear shit about like, you know, oh, I'm a senior in college. My name's like, you know, LeBron Williams. Like Michael Jordan was huge in the 90s. When I was in college in the late 2000s, fucking everyone was named Michael or Jordan. I guess I still meet some motherfuckers named James now that I think about it, but that might be like a coincidence. Jordan, I know we talked about this on Monday. Jordan is another very 80s and 90s name, man. I knew a lot of Jordans, but I feel like you don't see them anymore. Thank you for typing that. You're absolutely right. There were hella Jordans in like 1996, man. That's true. I guess it kind of went through the looking glass, right? Like Jordan was a boy and a girl's name, but mostly boys when I was a kid. And now I think it's like mostly girls. Jordan LaForge? Yes, sir. My name is Jordan. Okay, I'm carrying the wheel. Fucking ass. Come sit next to me. Pour yourself some tea. Weezer sighting. Dude, if Pinkerton flopped, do you think they would have just released like 10,000 versions of that song, but changing the name? Like that dude on Spotify who does all those songs that are like, Ryan Poop, Ryan Poop. My name is William. Dun, 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 dun. They could have done that, man. It would have been better than that fuck ass like space opera he was trying to write. Although Long Time Sunshine does go pretty hard. But now you're finally landing. I'm just saying, I listened to the Rivers Cuomo solo album. What's the one? It's not called Spider in the Snow. That's a Dismemberment Plan song. Lover in the Snow, right? That one's pretty good. The reset. We will not reset anymore. I've built a bad habit. I'm gonna get a Western Family Kicking Back Zero Cola. A what? A Western Family Kicking Back Zero Cola soda. If it's any consolation, we were like a 1 in 1,000 chance to hit the the Theragun. Ask them for a sponsorship. You know, you could just like buy things. We don't need to get like all this like email and like they're soda merchants, man. I don't want to debase them to my level where they have to write an email that's like, "Hello, comma, nice to hear from you. We're always looking to branch into new media initiatives." Double fucking space, new line. At present, our marketing budget really doesn't allow for us to sponsor any streamers, but we're interested in working together. Maybe you could give us your home address and we'll send you a free 2-liter bottle of Diet Coke. Like, we don't need to get involved with that. It's like, these days, that might be like $75 worth of labor for no fucking reason for either of us. Just 2 liters is crazy. Dude, I got radicalized when I found out that, you know how like if you're not satisfied with the product, some bags of chips will have like a number on the back. If you're not satisfied with this product for any reason, please let us know at this account. If you fucking get through, you know what they give you? Another bag of chips. Like, that's not... If the bag of chips is fucked up, I don't think you owe me like a bag of chips. I think you owe me like 10x the value of a bag of chips. You owe me like $40. Why? Because the chips were fucked, man. In my opinion, you gotta, to make it right, you gotta overpay. Because now I gotta use my fucking time to talk to the Miss Vicky's Corporation about how the spicy ketchup was too spicy or whatever. Like, I gotta go on hold as like a middle-aged man and be like, the chips were not to my standards, right? So like, you should fucking, that should be 10 bags. Minimum. You're right, Miss Vicky's don't miss. Looking forward to going back to that when the trade war is over. That's a long way away, maybe. Or I don't know, maybe it's tomorrow. Isn't it made in Canada? Doesn't matter. They were purchased by Frito-Lay in like the year 2000. Sorry to say. Everybody's got their own standards, okay? So for a while, I was eating hard bite potato chips. Then I was like, every man's got his limits. I think I'll just switch to a different snack. The choo-choo train did leave right on time. You're not wrong, man. The ticking clock's only your motherfucking mind, dude. That's on the Peloton playlist, although it's not on the FTP test sub-playlist of the Peloton playlist for when I really need to lock in. That's not a lock-in song. That's like that's an I'm vibing song. Although the instrumental breakdown, not bad for an interval push, I guess. Excuse me, my FTP is not 230. Don't insult me. Right now it's 257, but we have another FTP test coming up. I think it's March 16th. Maybe March 15th, now that I think about it. Another one? Yeah, I'm trying to keep myself honest and do one like every 6 to 8 weeks. The intervals are getting a little bit easier. I definitely think we're due for an uptick. On the other hand, though, I also have gained 2.5 kilos in 2025, so my watts per kilogram is in the trash right now. I think we're looking 250. I think we might be in the 260s on the next one. That's pretty conservative. Any second now. Any second now. What we sipping on? You must be new here. A diet kicking, a Western family diet kicking back zero sugar cola. Coke 300. Are there still partnered streamers here, or are did they wash out because this is just the same shit over and over? Can I get some experts to weigh in on the viability of Coke 300? If you weren't here for the bit, I think that I want to say exhausted. I love that we live in a world where there's delicious zero sugar, zero calorie sodas that taste almost as good as the original, or in some cases exactly as good as the original. I think we're due for a heavy soda that has 1.5x to 2 times the amount of calories as a regular soda. I think the culture could absorb it right now. Like, you got Coke Zero, Coke, and then Coke 300, which has, like, I guess 50 grams of sugar per can. If the remaining liquid has the solubility necessary to absorb that much sugar, that's how much we're putting into it, okay? I think it could work, man. Heavy drinks, man. You know what fucks me up, though, is that regular soda drinkers have, like, no standards. If you ever drink a Coke Zero, they're like, why don't you just drink, like, a regular Coke, but, like, less of it? Then I come up with a heavy soda that would, by definition, taste even better than the original Coke. And they're like, I don't want to drink that shit. It's too many calories. Why don't you just drink fucking less of it, dumbass? Don't be a pussy. That's the whole marketing campaign, if you remember. Just a spoonful. Would be good, man. People who only drink half a can freak me out. Dude, my wife is a half can drinker, but I just respect it. Weak ass attempt. Because, like, I'm just not built like that. Same thing, like, she'll pour, like, a whole glass of water, drink half of it, and the remaining half will still be there, like, 4 hours later. I can't leave, like, a half full glass. Like, almost any time there's a beverage in front of me, I'm like, I could really go for that right now. And then I just finish the glass. Yeah, I'm a chugger for the most part. It's hard with the soda. That's like more of a sipping beverage, but like when we go out to like a restaurant, usually like I'll have the glass of water that they put on the table, and then they'll refill it, and I'll have that glass of water, and then they come around and go like, "Do you want more water?" And I go, "No, I'm fine." But then sometimes they still just fill it up, even though I said no. And I kind of get mad because I'm like, if you keep pouring them, I'm going to keep drinking them. And that's going to fuck up my whole like piss equilibrium. Like I told you, no. I'm not mad at them because they're trying to like, you know, give good service. But I guess I'm mad at the combination of their behavior and my own impulses. They talk shit about you if you finish your drink before the food comes out. I think they got better shit to do than that. I don't believe you. I was a server, that's true. Really? The hell happened there? That seems crazy to me. Well, okay, all tips just went down by 5% forever. Way to go. Sorry, you weren't supposed to mention that part. It's your right to talk shit behind the client's back, but you're not supposed to tell the client. that. Food will take 5 minutes longer. That's fine by me, man. I don't even mind that shit. You know what tilts me though is when you're done with the food and then it takes like 25 minutes for them to come back to the table so you can finally ask for the bill. Like waiting for the food, maybe this is a rare take. But like I would rather, if we're at a restaurant for 90 minutes, I would rather wait 60 minutes for the food and then like 5 minutes for the bill after eating than get the food after 30 minutes and have to wait like 45 minutes for the bill. It sounds, it's counterintuitive, but that is how it feels to me. If you'll forgive me for encapsulating this in a millennial ass phrase, you kind of get like post meal clarity where you're like, I don't want to be in this fuck ass restaurant anymore. I just ate. I only came here in the first place because I was hungry. I debased myself with this fucking white brick neon sign bullshit just to get a couple of like vegan tacos. And now I got to get the fuck out of here and get on with my life. Give me the fucking bill, man. Get me out of this joint. I'm not supposed to be here. What am I doing here? I could have just had a sandwich at home. Opinion on the white spot? I think it's not great, but overhated in British Columbia. Also, the reviews for the white spot are always full of old motherfuckers who are like, when I was 38, a hamburger was $1.75, and now it's $22. What gives? And I'm like, yeah, bitch, it's your fucking fault. You fucking idiot. That was you guys, you dumbass. Anyway, by the way, thank you for the raid. Thank you. We're talking a bunch of nonsense here. Still felt pretty good. Still felt pretty good. I like it well enough. My daughter's a big fan of the Pirate Pack, so we do find ourselves at the white spot on occasion.